Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard here on a pregame edition for game number 5. The Edmonton Oilers back to action tomorrow against the Dallas Stars down in Dallas as they try to get things wrapped up. The business, well, it's hopefully a win tomorrow evening for the Edmonton Oilers as we look forward to moving on to the Stanley Cup final should you win. Obviously, that's counting things before they happen, but the Edmonton Oilers, well, they continue to take care of business post game 1. Now up 3-1 in the series and doing it, well, since game 1 rather convincingly over top of the Dallas Stars. Dallas has really just thrown everything they can game in, game out at the Oilers and have not found a way, A, to solve Stuart Skinner or to break open the Oilers' defense and penalty kill like they did in game number 1. So as we look forward to seeing what happens here in game number 5, it is worth noting Zach Hyman is done for the playoffs as well, so that's a whole nother thing. But the Oilers, game in, game out, continue to have contributions from players up and down the lineup, just kind of coming in at key spots, key times. Last night, 2 empty net goals to seal a 4-1 victory. But again, Kasperi Kapanen, who scored the crucial overtime winner against Vegas, ends up scoring one of the empty netters last night. And again, you might not make much of an empty netter, but for the Oilers, the more cushion you have by the end of the final buzzer, the better. And that's exactly what those 2 empty netters did for the Oilers last night against the Dallas Stars. So what we now turn to is a game in Dallas in which the Oilers, again, for the second series in a row, can end it on another team's home ice. And the Oilers, well, as long as everything lines up here, will be pretty much back to action pretty quick here against the Florida Panthers. I believe at the last time I checked, the Panthers were up 3-2 in the intermission, but let's go here and let's go here. The Panthers are up 3-2 with 13:24 to go in the third period. So up 3-2, the Panthers look like they very well, unless Carolina has saved their best for last, be advancing to the Stanley Cup final one day, potentially ahead of the Edmonton Oilers here as we get set for, like I said, game 5 against Dallas. So we're looking forward to seeing what happens for the Oilers tomorrow. That is the big thing, because there's going to be some lineup changes with, of course, Zach Hyman being injured for the rest of the playoffs. There's going to be somebody new entering the playoffs, or maybe in Jeff Skinner's case, somebody old. But the Oilers will definitely be looking a little bit different, missing the league leader in playoff hits right now in Zach Hyman as well. So there will be a little bit of a different look from the Oilers. Zach Hyman's been absolutely destroying players out there through his several games in the playoffs this year. And, you know, the Oilers have heavily, for as many times as I've checked the stats, been out-hitting the Dallas Stars here in this series so far. So it'll be interesting there as well to see kind of what the hit column looks like after game 5 for the Edmonton Oilers over the Dallas Stars. So plenty yet to be decided in this series, but I think one thing is for sure, Stu Skinner continues to ride hot against an elite team like Dallas. Makes zero sense given everything that else you can look at Stu Skinner's playoff career, but we love it nonetheless. To take it and run with it is all we were asking him, and that's exactly what he did following game 3 against Vegas. And now all of a sudden you've got a situation where this goaltender very well might take you all the way into the Stanley Cup final with help from Cal Pickard earlier in the playoffs. And I know it's kind of funny too. You look at how the splits worked in that series against Florida. Almost you could have predicted the way Stu Skinner played through the first 3 games of these playoffs, what was going to happen after the fact. And that's kind of where we've seen ourselves so far. So for the Edmonton Oilers, we'll continue to monitor anything that happens tomorrow. I don't think there will really be much need to talk about things prior to game 6 or game 5. Sorry, I don't think there will be much alarms going off before game time at 6 p.m. That's where I was going. So for the Oilers, well, you know what? Rest up, get ready. It's going to be a party in downtown Edmonton tomorrow night, hopefully, as the Oilers seal game 5 against the Dallas Stars. For right now, though, I am up on out of here. Have yourself a great night. We'll talk tomorrow.